My name is Jason Trolinski. Robert has been a friend of mine since college, was my roommate for several years, before he married Kathy, and was a groomsman at my wedding. Robert was a special person. He worked hard, was tenacious about everything he did, and cared deeply for his wife, his family, his friends, and all of those around him. He worked countless hours here at Covington, devoted himself to the Asian bar, was active in his church, worked on pro bono legal projects, and was a caring and devoted husband. Just over 1 year ago, I received a phone call from Kathy early in the morning to tell me the news that Robert passed away. I remember the moment like it was yesterday. When someone like Robert dies so young, you expect it to be the result of some sudden or previously unknown illness or an accident. I was in complete shock when I learned that Robert had been killed by someone, and I am still in shock today. Every time I think about the fact that whoever did this is still out there, I'm struck by a horrible mixed wave of sadness and anger. Sadness that Robert is gone. Sadness that he's not here to share the joy, the trials and tribulations of life with us. And anger that whoever did this is still out there, not behind bars, or at the very least awaiting trial. In the aftermath of the unimaginable tragedy that took Robert from this earth, the police and the U.S. Attorney's Office began investigating the crime that led to his death. Every day this past year, I had hoped to hear from Kathy or the news media that the investigators had solved the crime, or were bringing charges, or had finally come to the conclusions on what had happened. As of today, we still know nothing. We don't know who did this, and it does not appear the police have the information they need, whether from the DNA evidence that's still awaiting processing at the FBI lab, or from the person or persons out there who know exactly what happened in that Swan Street townhouse more than a year ago. Someone out there deliberately killed Robert Wone. Someone who's so depraved that they were able to kill him and to remain silent about their crime for this long. Someday, hopefully sooner rather than later, the police will get the information they need to solve this crime and provide an explanation to Robert's family and friends. What I want to say to the people in this room today, and to anyone listening, following this: the FBI needs to finish its DNA analysis. Those who've been questioned need to search their memories and their hearts and ensure they've given full and complete measure to those beliefs. And anyone else who has information that might be even remotely helpful needs to step forward and volunteer information they might have to the investigators. We need to know who did this. His family and friends deserve an explanation, and the people of Washington, D.C. need to know that a killer is not on the loose in their city. And whoever killed Robert Wone needs to face justice, either in this life or in the next.
My name is Eugene Chay. I first met Robert Wone in the spring of 2001 when he interviewed and joined the board of directors of an association I was part of, the association being affiliated with the Asian Pacific American Bar Association. Since then, I had the honor of serving with Robert on nonprofit boards of directors for several years, including the final years of his life. Robert was the president-elect of the Asian Pacific American Bar Association when he was tragically killed. He was sent to assume office just a few short days before his death, after his death. When Robert died, our community lost a great leader. I think that's demonstrated today by the strong showing of support that we have from APAMA DC members. Robert had already achieved so much in his short life, but he was destined to do more. But Kathy lost more than just a great leader. She lost a partner, her best friend, her husband. His parents lost their son. And his brother lost his brother. Like Jason, I lost a friend. And now, a year later, his murder is still unsolved. And it doesn't seem real to me that that can be possible. A year ago, in the days following Robert's death, I remember telling several people that I didn't care who did it. And I didn't care if they were ever caught, if they were ever brought to justice, because at that point in time, nothing seemed to matter to me. None of that was going to bring Robert back, which was all that I really cared about at that time. And now, a year later, in retrospect, I think that might have been the only way that I could have coped with the scenario at that time. And now, a year later, I'm angry. And I'm left coping with the thought that it's just not right that a year after his death, Whoever murdered Robert is still walking around, walking our streets, scot-free. I don't know all the details of the investigation, and I'm ignorant as to the reasons why this has taken so long. But I think we all deserve answers. Kathy and Robert's family deserve answers. I join Kathy and Jason in calling for anybody who has any information regarding Robert's death to step forward, make themselves known, and tell what they know to the DC Police, the FBI, the U.S. Attorney's Office. Whoever did this can and must be brought to justice. Thank you.
1 year ago, last Thursday night, that man, a loving husband, a son, a brother, an accomplished member of the bar, a friend to many people in this room. And I hope the members of the media will focus on the fact that this room is filled today with people who cared a great deal about this young man. This was not a hard thing for us to do. This is not a staged event. People, once hearing that this was going to be done, called us, asked us, how can we participate? What is it that we can do? What can we do to show our support? And you see them, they're here. He was a kind and gentle man, and he was stabbed to death, killed in the most horrible of ways. As despicable as that crime was and is, as big a tragedy as that is, it is only compounded by the fact that Robert's killer has not been brought to justice. Now, Washington, D.C. is a great city. And yet, in this case, our city has not lived up to its greatness. In fact, none of us has. A year after Kathy's husband was taken from her, not a single person has been charged with a single crime in connection with that event. This is despite the fact that Robert was in a house occupied by friends at the time that he was stabbed. It is despite the fact that the knife used to stab him was taken from the kitchen of the house where he was spending the night. We're here today to ask everyone in this city, including ourselves, to do more. When we leave today, each of us needs to look at ourselves in the mirror and ask, is there more that I can do to bring Robert's killer or killers to justice, to bring some measure of closure to Robert's widow and his family? Some of the questions that need to be asked, we believe, are these. For all those that are close to Robert, do I have any information that may explain why someone killed him? Now, answering this question may mean sharing information with police that someone would prefer that you not share. Or it could mean speculating about what someone else might have done. Even if this makes you feel uncomfortable, this information needs to be shared. It is a tiny price to pay compared to the price that Robert paid and the price that Kathy and his family have paid and will continue to pay. Your information, in whatever form, is critical. For those in 1509 Swan Street, where Robert was killed, you need to truly ask yourselves, truly ask yourselves, have I provided the police with all of the information that might be relevant to the investigation of this crime? Only you, your conscience, and your God know the answer to that question. But that is a question you must ask yourself. And if you truly care about Robert, truly care about his family, truly care about Kathy, you will come forward and share all of the information that you have. We are not here to blame anybody for the fact that this case has not been